on again.
When you're just gonna show up again, and they're like, oh yeah, help us out.
We loved your question. Can you ask something?
Have a follow-up conversation.
Yeah, so I kept, I was obsessed. I was really bored. I took a semester off from college, and I was like, all right, this is my calling. I'm going to be on CNN Talk Back Live every day and do something, some sort of prank on there. And this was all during my cake delivery route. So I was supposed to be delivering cakes at the time. But I go to the CNN Center. So 2 days after this first appearance, I went back. And this time I was in disguise. But maybe not the best disguise ever.
Well, we have footage, so maybe a keen eye, when we show the clip, maybe a keen eye might be able to pick you out.
Okay.
So let's just, let's see that tape of Rob Lathan and CNN Talk Back Live 2 days after the initial appearance.
The pilots union has asked for an 11% raise, I believe, and we have offered up to a 6% in our most recent thing.
Okay, Tim, hang there on that point.
Why is it that these pilots would go on strike to further cut into that margin of error for airlines and basically be cutting their own throats?
Captain Cronin, this is right down your street. Tell us, please.
Of course, a strike by 9,000 pilots has major ripple effects to mechanics, ticket agents, flight attendants, and so there would be thousands of people whose jobs would be furloughed if American Airlines were forced to stop.
The neck was restricted. Yeah.
It could have been
Well, then I didn't need. I had the neck, Hawaiian shirt. That was enough. I didn't need a hand signal.
I've never seen the combination of a neck brace and a Hawaiian shirt before.
Yeah.
Well done.
And they couldn't say no. Actually, when I went up to them, of course they recognized me, and they're like, no, you're not and they're like, what happened to you? I was like, I got in a car wreck.
Oh.
And so they're like, sorry. Probably half believe me, and they're like, but still, you can't come back on. And I was like, come on, please. They're like, fine, you can come back on, but you can't ask any questions.
So from the first one, and maybe this one, were you ever worried that maybe you might come across to people that don't know you, or maybe they haven't seen you in years, like, maybe this guy's dumb?
Yeah, well, actually, I wouldn't worried. I mean, anybody that knows me knows that I am dumb. So.
Do you think that the CNN person's response, taking the question from me, was that you're dumb or that you're doing a bit, that you're trying to be funny?
I think hopefully they knew that I was doing a bit, but I don't know. You never know. What was interesting is everybody in the audience was dead serious. They wanted to ask a really intelligent, serious question, and were not amused at all at what I was doing.
And you seem like the real. I mean, seeing the whole footage, it was there's the real person in the whole audience, and then the rest of the people were oh, what? Why so serious, But, I happen to know that you do comedy now, and a lot of bits that, you even had a show yesterday, right? As a matter of fact. Did this appearance, since this was your camera debut, did it sort of influence you? You said you found it as your calling, right?
Yeah, well, maybe so. Yeah, I mean, at that, I wasn't really, doing comedy then, and, I had no acting training, although maybe you think I would have, those appearances. But maybe I caught a glimpse of the limelight, and I thought I gotta take it. I got more to give than just neck braces and hand signals.
So, do you ever get recognized, or did you at the time get recognized for Talk Back Live? Because you were in Atlanta, you used to live in Atlanta, right?
Yeah. No, well, I mean, people I knew, of course. Another thing was a part of my obsession that I would call, it was before cell phones, and maybe some people had cell phones, but I definitely did not have cell phones. So I would call everybody on a payphone, and and all my friends are at different colleges, all over the country. I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna be on TV. tape it, and I would force them to like miss their class. And so of course they all saw it, and now it's like, you know, they're like, oh, all right, Rob's on CNN Talkback Live again. And nobody ever recognized me in Atlanta, of course, but a few years ago I did a one-man show, and I showed the clips, and somebody in the audience came up to me afterwards and said, I used to work for CNN, and there's a picture of you like in the, you know, booth or wherever that said like, don't let this guy back on.
That's awesome. After only 2 times, you did it twice, and
No, I went there like 10 times. And the last time there, I mean, I was crazy. Like, you could diagnose me as crazy that time. But the final time, they're like, look, no, you can't come back on the show. Like, it's enough, you know. You're banned, and they even said like, you're banned from the show.
It's like not my fault they keep ordering cakes to this.
Exactly. I know. It's too tempting.
Well, you know, is there a place that people maybe be able to see you do comedy, say here in New York City?
Sure. Well, at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, and Rafifi, I have a show every Thursday night at Rafifi, which is in the East Village, and yeah.
All right. Well, right now we'll put like that stuff right underneath your name. Like plug, it'll be right there. It'll be like Rafifi and UCB.
Nice.
Because you're on team there and an improv troupe there, right?
Right.
What's the name of that group?
Kill Your Darlings.
Kill Your Darlings. So Kill Your Darlings at UCB Theater. Well, I hope you can stick around because we do have another guest here.
Well, of course.
Who is a fellow ham. That's not insulting, right? To call us ham, right?
I'll gladly be a ham.